Doc, with all the things happening today, why is it that Nubians aren't responding and not realizing that the end of the world is near?
With all the doctrine that's coming out and all the different things that you're doing little by little, you're having an effect on the people in a big way. You know what I'm saying? And you just got to be ready for it. Unfortunately, a lot of Nubians are not into computers like we are. And so they don't even know about the Hellbop. They don't even know, you don't know about the Hellbop, right? Comet. Right? A lot of you don't know about the Hellbop comet yet. And that's why what I did is I got a copy of the tape so they can hear the Amorites tell them about a craft like entity that seems like it's alive, yet not alive, that's 4 times the size of Earth that they just discovered. And NASA is confirming it, that it's there, next to a meteorite that came into existence 2 years ago called Hellbop. And it's on the tape, and they're called Hellbop. And they're actually talking about this new craft thing, and they tell you it's coming towards Earth, and it's intelligently controlled, and it's coming to get a group of people. And they say on the tape that these group of people that they're coming to get are people that are involved in it in advanced studies. And no, they literally say it on the tape and say they're out to teach people. Did anybody hear any of it yet? Oh, y'all picked it up, right? Drop it in the car on the way back home and listen to it. And the end of it, the guy says, in the beginning of it, in fact, he says, I'd like to thank Dr. So-and-so, something Malachi. That's not me now, right? If somebody uses the name Malachi. Most of them don't pronounce the name Malachi, they pronounce the name Malachi. Right? So it's a slip of tongue for them to say Malachi. That means they're letting us know where their sources, but they cannot deny. And we went into the computer and internet, and it showed us the comet. They had pictures of the comet in there, and it's good to know it's there. They know that Nibiru, and they literally say on the tape, Zachariah Sitchin refers to this as Nibiru. Next came into us was, I tried to fact check as many people as I can. I don't know if you got the skulls. Right? Y'all get the skull? The skull of a genacle, the chromium twice the size. And right after that, about 2 days later, they sent us the skull of a pteron, a cone. Because everybody, when we said the cone is real, people thought we was copying on Saturday Night Live. Of course, they don't know that everything the Amorite does, he puts the intelligence in front of you so you won't believe it. But they got actual skulls. And we're getting more information coming constantly because now that people know through the internet that we're the source of this information, they feel free sending us stuff. Amorites, everybody. I get clippings. I got like 10 stories on how Jesus was married to Mary Magdalene. You heard somebody, y'all read that one? Had children, how his kids still moved, was protected by the, whom, etc. All these stories are coming out. They had a whole thing on television the other night on Discovery or one of them, where they talk about, the graves of skulls, the graves of skulls under Old Jerusalem. Well, they have a place called the Grave of Skulls under Old Jerusalem, for those who don't know, where they have all the skeletons of all the popes and all of that. And that's that place where they say that Freemasons go when you reach a certain degree, believe me, I know, and they go to Jerusalem and they go beneath Old Jerusalem and they see the body of Jesus, and they've taken the body of Muhammad out of the 18th century out of Medina. That's when they rebuilt Medina. The mosque in the north, when they did that there, what actually happened is the Shriners took the body of Muhammad out of that, which they had preserved, and his body is also under there, and only people of a certain degree of Freemasonry are allowed to see it. It's a confirmation. Actually, they're not looking at Jesus' body, they're looking at part of Jesus' body. Because in there also, in a higher degree, they tell you that Jesus went to Egypt, and he died there at 120. But Jesus' son, right, he was the one that was killed in the streets of Jerusalem, body transferred to the Vatican in Rome, where they simulated the crucifixion of him there, kept his body there for a certain amount of years, and then the Knights of Templar went there and got it and bought it and put it in there. They have a special chamber where they keep things sacred. They also, I don't know if some of y'all remember years ago, I said under the Sphinx, there's some documents, years ago I told y'all about that. They're trying to get up under the Sphinx to get to these documents. They found out the Sphinx was a symbol of, in the astrological charts of the ancient Egyptians, as the era of Leo, the lion. That's what it's supposed to symbolize, and has something to do with the Mars project and what they refer to as the Adama project. This is that one atom, right? And so they are unmasking, because we should never say they discovered anything. They don't discover, they uncover. They uncover things that we buried, right? So a new word, just a new one for you, right? They don't discover anything. But anyway, they're starting to uncover a lot of the things that's going to confirm everything that you have put trust in me in is going to become confirmed for you in front of your own eyes. And not that you need it. I know some of y'all should follow me wherever I go, and I appreciate that. Right? But I'm just saying, it is good for those who come to your class with the skeptic, and I didn't say skeptic, I said skeptic. They come skipping around looking for some type of evidence to what appears to be a science fiction movie when you start kicking the doctrine on them. I know deep in your heart, as much as you may have loved me and I you, when you had to go out and teach what I was teaching you, it was difficult. You say, you know, the guy's really from another planet. And he has 19 spirits talking to him. And you know, never mind, we'll pick this up later. Let's talk about something that appears more sensible. But the confirmation of who and what I am is confirming itself. And that's the best I can ask for from my brothers beyond the stars, that they give me just a little help. Because to come here, you know, to incarnate into this individual's body and try to convey this message to people that have been so televisioned, so subliminally sedated. I mean, that they removed the essence of the 9 from you and implanted the 6, the lower side of the circle. It's such a hard job just to get you to not listen to the wrong music. You think you're saying something cool when you say, I like such and such a music, and you don't understand nothing about music. Because y'all are familiar with the 800 megahertz frequencies that are coming through the air now. You're familiar with that. You do, no, you're not. Okay, well, I thought I taught you about it. Well, you know that each one of the human beings have in their brain, they're called magnetic particles. That's the best term that they can come up with them. One day, of course, I'll give you the real name, but let's let them play with it for a while. Magnetic particles. You have 9 magnetic particles in your brain. All right? And these magnetic particles can be affected by wavelength, by frequencies, higher and lower. Now, the cellular phones are all set at 800 megahertz. And that brain of yours was 900 megahertz. You follow that? And it drops down. When Honorable Elijah Muhammad was speaking about the brain capacity of an Amorite being less than that of a Nubian, they were talking about that frequency response, your ability to respond to sound. All right? Of course, as you know, microwave also is moving on a sound. I think I explained that a couple of years ago, how microwave cooks food by sound, which means that they're able to cue in and deaden some of those magnetic particles. A lot of Nubians, instead of walking around in 9 ether, and 9 ether is beyond their hair, in the 9 ether state of activated 9 magnetic particles, they have dropped down to 4, 3, 2, and when you see a brother who's totally delirious, unable to coagulate words, he is about down to 1, and some just go vegetate out. And what they have to do is they give you all types of drugs so that it drops your body down to what's referred to as an alpha wavelength, which is 1 step from dead. And that way you'll stay what they refer to as monotone. Monotheos, monotone. Mono, they keep you dead, right? And so they are now capable of sending these frequencies out. They are putting these stations along the road. I know as y'all cross the country, if you look up, you'll see this thing on a tall pole, and it's shaped like a tetrahedron, and it has little things on all 3 sides. Just look for them, and you'll see them. Well, right now the government has 24 different satellites aligned to the planet, around the planet. All right? And he has 24,000 of these receivers and senders situated across the country. he is able to tune in to your radio via frequencies. It's called frequency response. This unit that I picked up, that I brought here and clicked on, is a unit that's making it possible for everybody on Kadesh to turn to a certain station on the radio and they can hear me talking without any wires. Which means I'm sending controlled frequencies through the air. You follow that? Once I understand the human and that his brain waves are between 900 and 700, you follow? 7.5 ounces of brain, know that? 900 and 700 on megahertz, I can send out certain types of frequencies. I can also lock these frequencies into music, because when they started doing this, they did it in a place called Wackenhut Naval Base. Do some investigation to find out. That's where they started at. And the reason why they refer to it as the HARP project, if you heard of that, out of Alaska, is because a harp, of course, is an instrument. And they know that by strumming a harp, you can get different response. Years ago, a lot of people used to come to me and ask me, how do they line their body up? And I would tell them, what they had to do is go to a keyboard and take middle C and find the 2/8 of octaves. Find the octave between middle C from one to the next. Of course, you know it's 8 notes. And I said, you go up and down the keyboard until you find that note that soothes your body. And then you'll know what key you're vibrating on. You know what vibration works with your body. The Buddha or the Tibetans, they know about this. And so they have learned how to make their throat make 3 sounds simultaneously. And they chant like that. Constantly. And they got this going on right now while we're sitting here. Meanwhile, the practitioners of the faith start off Om Mena Padme Hum, Om Mena Padme Hum, Om Mena Padme Hum, Om Mena Padme Hum. And they're on another frequency while the priests are pulling. See, sound is a strange thing. If Deke is making a certain sound and I do another sound, a half step up or a whole step up, and I do let's say he does a 1 and I do a 3 and he does a 5, we create what's called harmony. You follow that? As you know, none of the groups are singing in harmony no more. They have this new kind of harmony called Unitarian harmony. They think they're singing in harmony because 2 or 3 of them are singing the same note and it's partially unison in part harmony, and none of the kids have it no more because they had to stop that because that vibrates 3 bones up here in the sinus that connect to the tetrahedron that the nose creates, which opens the eye of Osir, the third eye. They know what frequencies we move on. They know our emotional state.